In this video, I'm going to share all the data from my viral article and income results. Plus, I'll share what factors I believe went into going viral so you have a better chance of going viral as well. And of course, tips for writing on Medium as a side hustle throughout. I actually haven't made a follow-up video to my first video about Medium, sharing how much money I made after writing 15 articles in 30 days. 6 months and 75-ish articles later, I have a lot to say and share. You're sure to learn a tip that's gonna help you out, and in the end, I'm gonna summarize all the tips and provide a very helpful free resource. Finally, if you're a writer or editor and want to get involved with my current book project, I'll share how you can do that in the very end. Hint, I need editing help, like real bad, but I'll explain more then. By the way, my name is Frankie. Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you love it and want some more of it, and let's dive in. So first, some background. I haven't been writing on Medium for long. I wrote 9 articles in 2020, but I started taking it seriously just back here in March of 2021, publishing 30 articles actually in March and April. My goal has been about 10 articles a month since then, and I'm 2 articles away actually from number 100 being published. And the truth is, around 90% of my articles are actually repurposed content. Mainly it's turning these videos into articles, as well as pulling sections from my first 2 self-published books. It takes me maybe 1 to 4 hours, I'd say, to repurpose these videos and sections from my book into article format. So there's a tip already: repurpose content. Your own blog articles, scripts from YouTube, podcast transcripts, journal entries, anything goes, but don't just copy and paste. Put some time into tightening up your work and formatting. But let's get to the viral article because I found what happened mysterious and super fascinating. So the article that went viral is this one on screen. If you want to retire 5 years early, stop buying these 5 things. The subtitle was "Come for the practical, stay for the not so obvious." It was posted way back in March when I started taking Medium seriously. For nearly 5 months, it got next to no views. I'd say 50 to 75. On its best day, it had just 6 views, but that all changed on August 23rd, 10 views, then 23, 47, 160. This was starting to get exciting. It earned 40 cents, $2.60, $4. It came down a little bit, but then it took off. For the next 11 days, it gained anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 views in a single day, earning anywhere from $54 to $100 a day, which, to be quite honest, was insane. By September 14th, though, the views did start to bottom out, which is totally fine. I'm just super grateful and frankly confused by this little run here, but I was more confused actually about what happened next. Even though those views came crashing back to earth, earning just 10 to 30 views a day, the revenue continued to come in at the same rate for about 2 weeks. Even after that, the article seemed to earn a disproportionate amount of money for the views, as you can see on screen. The strangest day was probably September 25th. It had just 10 views, but earned over $50. It's more than $5 a view. On October 2nd, it had just 5 views, but earned over $20, which is strange indeed. And let me know your theory. Why does this revenue continue to come in for a few weeks? All in all, this article earned a whopping $2,000.51. Like, what? How? Like, why? This is just crazy. And again, I'm super grateful. That's from 30,000 views and 465 hours of member reading time. 88% of those views were internal referrals. And before I dive into what I think happened and how you might be able to replicate the success, let me take a quick step back and compare this revenue with other successful articles to give you a better sense of what you should expect to earn with a successful article, not even a viral hit like this one. Only one other article of mine has come within shouting distance of this one in terms of views. It was 10 underrated pieces of investing advice that earned me $710 from 18.6 thousand views. And now you know why I made this recent overrated advice video an article. Follow up your hits as a tip. The Wealth Snowball earned $204 from 4.6 thousand views, but then it dropped off to $19 from 6.5 thousand views, then 10, 10, 5, and 5. Those 8 articles over 1,000 views earned an average of $370, but of course it's heavily skewed by those top 2 articles. The median is around $15, and $42 is the average if you exclude those top 2 articles. Now, what about those other 90 or so articles under 1,000 views? Well, honestly, it's super hard to tell using Medium's dashboard. It's a little bit clunky, but I would guess it's anywhere from $1 to maybe $5 an article. And that sounds like a lot of swinging and missing, and it is, but it only takes one pitch to hit a home run. That was cheesy, sorry. Although I did find that this article earned $47 from 930 views, but I would say that's more rare. And if you want to know how much I've made in total in 1 year, 99, 98 articles later, I'll put that on screen now. Keep in mind though, $1,500 of this total is from a summer bonus that they're no longer doing. So why did this article go viral and how can you replicate it? First off, I took a lot of swings, as I said. It's safe to apply the 80-20 rule to your earnings. So 20% of your articles will deliver 80% of the results. And honestly, it might even be 90-10. And just like with YouTube, you're gonna learn by doing. You're gonna gather data and reflect, I hope. You try and test new things, and you could honestly just get lucky every once in a while, but I honestly think luck happens at the intersection of hard work and consistency. I published 10 articles on average for the last 7 months, and it wasn't until I became this consistent that I had this real hit. And like I said, study your data because what doesn't get measured gets missed. So I looked at the data for these 8 articles that gained over 1,000 views, and I found a few things in common I wanted to share. For example, the average reading time on those articles was relatively high. It averaged out to about 3.5 minutes. They range from 2 minutes and 14 seconds up to a whopping 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Quality is key to keep readers reading, but so is article length. Most of my articles are around 1,800 to 2,000 words, and that comes out to 7 to 9 minutes of reading time according to Medium. Aim for 1,500 words in 7 minutes, but without any fluff. I also learned that Google can be your best friend in terms of external audience referrals, but your enemy when it comes to revenue earned. That's because most people finding your article from Google won't be paying members of Medium. That's these blue lines that you see here on screen. So if it's mostly blue, it's likely you're not earning a lot of revenue. And that's the issue with a lot of these articles that had 1,000+ views for me, but earned under $20 in revenue. You need that member reading time to really make money. And that's why my latest earned, I think, $2,000, because again, 88% of those 30,000 views were internal referrals. 5 of those top 8 articles had 16% or less internal views. And this one on screen actually had 98% external, which is crazy. So you really do need to get blessed by the Medium algorithm and get chosen for further distribution with high quality content and consistency. All right, more specifically though, let's talk titles. These are critical. Looking at my top 8, I have a few thoughts. Now, first off, don't chase SEO terms like I did with this KDP one. Those are great for Google traffic, but bad for revenue, like I said. Next, make your articles reader focused. Your articles aren't about you. It's about your reader and trying to improve their lives or elicit an aha moment by the end. I focus on how-to and listicle articles for the most part, and I like to literally use the words you and your in my titles. I also try to add a little bit of intrigue and or surprise. So there's mystery in stop buying these 5 things. Like, what 5 things? Underrated advice is gonna be unique and probably surprising. What the heck is a wealth snowball? I thought financial freedom and financial independence were the same things. Are they not? So again, I recommend how-to articles, helpful articles for the reader versus articles actually, listicles, and always trying to surprise and delight the reader. Oh, and I actually found that both short titles and longer titles work, but if it is a longer title, make sure you put the point of the article sort of front loaded. So I've covered audience retention in titles, but going viral is also impacted by audience interaction with your article. Ideally, you can drive highlights, claps, comments, and have people save your article or share it. It's difficult to give tips here, but I'll say that controversial opinions do lead to comments, and even negative comments likely help you. You can reply to comments. You can bold major points of your article to increase the likelihood of that section getting highlighted by the reader. And remember, you don't get what you don't ask for, so experiment with how to ask for a follow or a share or a comment without being too pushy like I did at the beginning of this video. Don't worry, I'll be pushy at the end. And it should go without saying, but good formatting is extremely important for keeping the reader engaged. The provided tools are very minimal, but there's more than meets the eye. For example, if you type an asterisk and hit the space bar, it turns it into a bullet point. You can pull out and highlight quotes. You can insert images throughout from sites like Unsplash. I even embed my YouTube video in the end by copying and pasting the link and hitting enter. I bet this increases my read time as well. Oh, and by the way, if you paste older articles of yours you want to reference and then hit enter, it's going to format it like this nicely. Do some research and learn the tips and tricks for mastering formatting on Medium. When it comes to your main image, I'm still a little bit perplexed here. I read that you should use bold colors and feature people, but most of my top 8 articles actually featured inanimate objects, no bright colors, so I guess I just say experiment here. But again, Unsplash is great, and I also use pixels or even my own images. In terms of getting published in publications, I think it's important, but not as important as I initially thought. That said, you should consider doing what I did, which is starting your own publication. This viral article that earned $2,000 was actually published in Money Resolution, and creating this publication took me less than 30 minutes. By the way, feel free to send your submissions my way and or follow my pub. That'd be sweet. But don't overemphasize these publications. I sometimes took weeks to find my articles a home after 6 or 7 rejections, and I wish I would have saved all that time and effort and just published it myself and moved on. Finally, tags. I actually think tags might be more important than I initially thought. Before publishing or submitting to publications, you can add up to 5 tags. As you start to type, it will autofill suggestions, which definitely comes in handy, and it'll also show you the tag volume. With every article, I aim for a high volume, middle, and low volume. And actually, finally, 2 things I noticed I did well with this viral article was first, a good introduction that included a little bit of humor. I led with a fake list of 5 items that were pretty silly, and I also recommend a good summary in the end. Use that bullet tip I gave you to format when you can here. I also ended with some humor for what it's worth, and I do like the idea of including humor throughout to keep the pace up and keep the reader surprised and engaged. And to practice what I just preached, here are the quick tips from this video on screen. There's a lot, so I'm not gonna read it to you, but feel free to pause if you weren't taking notes. You weren't taking notes, were you? You lazy bum. And that is a bad attempt at humor or including something surprising. Anyway, for more tips, I'm gonna link to a document with 10 tips that I created for my first Medium tips video in the description down below. It's a quick one-sheeter, but it also includes a free resource for helping you write better titles. And of course, follow me over on Medium. I'm at F. Calkins. You can read a few articles a month, I think, for free if you're not a member, or join using the link I'm gonna put in the description and pinned in the comments. It's just $5 a month. It would really help me out. As you can see, there's an emphasis and incentive now for writers to sign up new members. If you have any questions, fire away below. I do reply to any and all questions. If you have tips or suggestions for me for writing on Medium, I am all ears. Finally, I need help. Like, seriously. I need a book editor. Ideally, an affordable one that's in it for the experience and the opportunity to work with me directly. I'm working on my 3rd book, tentatively titled Save Half, Retire Fast, but I've actually had 2 editors now quit on me unexpectedly, so I'm back on the hunt. My first 2 couldn't commit to the time and scope of the project, so please only reach out if you're very serious about this. Email me directly at frankie@themoneyresolution.com. and let me know why you think you'd be a good fit. I don't need a resume or any of your past work or whatever. Include it if you want, but just be honest, be brief, be yourself, and bring the enthusiasm. I care a lot more about passion for personal finance and early retirement than editing experience. Besides some money, of course, you're gonna get your name in the front of the book as the editor, Zoom calls with me weekly if needed, honestly. And if you've ever wanted to write a book yourself, I'll give you all my best advice and share what I'm doing and what's working for me. Everything I've learned, from tools and tips to resources and even some hacks, plus free copies of the book and more. Again, that's frankie@themoneyresolution.com. That's the best way to get in touch. Thank you as always for getting to the end. I hope I earned a like on this video by delivering useful tips for you with full transparency. Subscribe if you want to see weekly videos from me showing up in your YouTube feed. I talk all things financial independence, early retirement, side hustles, and passive income twice a week. And I'm actually posting a video tomorrow. I don't do this very often, but it's a special cause I'm excited to get behind. So thank you again. Have an awesome week or weekend ahead.